Oh, brother. You know, first thing I did was just like, you know what, dude? Grab the camera. So when the back tire went flat, the bike lost its balance and fell into the car. This is not a good thing. You don't want depreciating assets slamming into appreciating assets, okay? That's bad math. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna replace the tubes. I'm gonna replace both tubes. I'm gonna do that today. I may film it. Main thing we gotta do is, and if you have a bike and you park it like I do, you have everything sandwiched in here, we've gotta lower this a little bit so we get a little more lean angle. So if the tire goes flat, the bike's not gonna topple over into things. I suggest you strongly take a look when you get a wired free, any bike, anything with a kickstand, make sure that this is at a point, flatten the tires, leave it on the kickstand, and make sure it will maintain its position. Not a whole lot of damage here. I got real lucky. I just hand waxed this thing about a week ago, so it's pretty slippery. I'm gonna go ahead and change the tires. If you guys wanna hang around, that's fine. If not, at least if you just saw this and just kind of bear in mind for your own particular situation. Wired freedom, inverted version. There we go. All right, so this tire has air in it, but we know that it leaked yesterday on our ride. So first thing I need to do is grab a pair of vision assistants so I can see what the heck has been causing all these leaks, right? Here. That's all this. That's what the editing department is going for. This is the first time I've ever done this, guys, so I have no idea, you know, what's going to go on. It shouldn't be any more difficult than this thing, right? Tube, right? There we go. There we go. See, look at that. See all that stuff? That's all that slime. That's a crap you kind of got to deal with. Disgusting. This thing right here, I don't know if you can see it. It's got like a beak on it. Yeah, I pulled that out of the front tire yesterday. So right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what I'm finding here. So what I'm also going to do is while I'm here is we're also going to check the outside of the tire just to look for any obvious little pricks that we need to pull out. Yeah, see? I don't know if you can see that. I have no idea what the GoPro is showing you because the rear screen of the GoPro, of course, has gone dormant. Yeah, see, a lot of these they're real short. They're not enough to breach the tire. And I'm going to do one more pass with my hand just to belabor the point that you've really, if you're not going to do this, then don't even do the tire. Have somebody else do it. You better hope to God they do it too. Otherwise, you know, wasting time is going to be your biggest hobby in life. Here's a tube. Hey, what's up, Mr. Tube? Got any leaks you want to tell me about now before we move forward with our surgery? Make sure it goes into the brake disc, right? And then she drops right back down. I think we're good here. We're going to move on to the back now. But let me tell you something. Before we do the back tire, let's talk about the main issue. This little beast right here. This thing is adjusted too high. So we just take one of these, and by the way, I don't like these tools because they just seem so cheap and chintzy to me. I'm a Mac tool guy, but it's so convenient. And we're just working with plastic. It's not, you know, I don't need anything too fancy. So we just kind of loosen it. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it to right about there. And what I'll do is I can adjust it later, but after this fiasco, you can bet everything you own that I'm gonna make sure this is adjusted properly. So don't want to over tighten it because it's plastic, right? Like what isn't plastic in the world these days, right? All right, so back tire. We'll just, we're gonna pop these little rubber things off, right? Here, because we're gonna want to cut this, right? Does that seem right? Does that seem right? Yeah. I've got to cut that because we've got to remove the tire. All right, so a little bit of playing around. I found out that a 13/16 socket fits on this nut fairly tightly, but it does fit, and you do want it tight. And let's see. Just gotta, there we go. Pretty tight, but not too tight. Try to pay attention as to how things look when you're taking them apart. So I see like a washer, and see how that's inset Of course you don't, there's not enough light. And we'll do the same to this side. Oh, there we go. This is the tube that ignited the spark between the bike and the vet. You know, this is the tube that's responsible, the catalyst, if you will. So, stick your ass over there. I'm running my fingers on the inside. See, now this one here has breached. That has breached the inside of the tire, so we'll just grab it. That was actually not that big. It was just strange. So we just keep going. Got another one right here. Right here. Grab this one here, pull that one out. Yeah. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how the tire feels on the inside. I tell you what, I probably did a minimum of a half a dozen passes on the inside wall with this tire. Because every time I thought it was clean, I'd do another sweep and I'd feel something. Now, once in a while, especially now, this is with goat head thorns. Sometimes you can't see it from the outside to pull it out. And sometimes it's kind of hard to see with the eye to pull it out this way. And you might not want to pull it out through the inside if you can avoid it. What I do is if I can't get it out, I take my fingernail and I destroy the tip of that thorn. Destroy it as much as you can, because once you take the point out of a thorn, you've kind of removed a lot of its power. So I did that, like I said, half a dozen times. I feel pretty good about it. So now I'm going to start putting it back together, and we'll probably fast motion that. So here we go. Well, guys, I made some mistakes. So I'm going to point them out to you because this is the first time doing this bike. Number one, and it was right in front of my face, and I even mentioned it in the video, is put the tires in the right direction. What did I do? I put them both on backwards. Second thing I did is that I should have rotated the tires, because the back tire, this was the back tire, wears at a much different rate than the front tire. And see, this was on the front. Third is really not a mistake, but I did put in a tire sealant. Some of you have said to use flat outs, but the problem, I just flat out couldn't find it. I went to a couple of stores, and I don't do Amazon, guys, anymore. I ended up having to go with slime, so we did put a sealer in there. And then another thing I want to tell you, if you're using a compressor, go as slow as you can, because what happens, what I find happens, is as you're airing these tires up, and if you just floor it, you know, like you're on a wired freedom air pump and you just nail it, you'll start getting bulges and it'll pop out. And then you're going to start fighting these pop outs. But if you go real slowly, you know, keep your hand, you know, pushing in places where it looks like it's bulging out, everything will work out fine. Well, folks, everything seems to be in order. All I really have to do is go back and replace those zip ties on the rear swing arm for the power cable. Now, one thing I did notice is when I flipped it back over, I noticed that the rear brake, it seemed like it had a lot of play in it, but I started pumping it a little bit. And I think it was just a matter of maybe the fluid. Maybe there's like I don't know, maybe there's like a fluid flow issue that seems to be correcting itself. Still a little more play on there than last time, but that's all right. The bike, you know, hey, we're back rolling again. Nothing seems to be falling off, so hopefully, you know, if you wind up in the same situation, maybe this video will help you out. If not, maybe you'll find some solace in my misery. I'd actually go in there and clean my glasses off because I couldn't see out of them due to sweat. But overall, let's face it, it wasn't too hard of a deal. And it's the last resort, guys. Till next time, we will talk to you soon.